The deal room.
Yesterday's price is not today's price, and I had to come to the realization he's right. No good in America is immune to tariffs and cost of goods. Even right now, you pick apples and oranges. You're still using gas on those tractors. Mm-hmm. You still have people maintaining those tractors. You still have water and sprinklers. There's multiple phases of cost that goes into everything, and it's unavoidable. Just like the real estate market, a contractor right now, there's no such thing as a cheap contractor. You know what I mean? Just the fact they show up and you can afford it is a win. Gotta think about it. Contracting, that labor market has shrunk. In the sense of not being political, immigrants and some illegal have been a big chunk of the labor force that keeps America going, and cheap labor. Right. Now, depending if you're the consumer or you're the business owner, you might be at odds. As a business owner, you could definitely call saying they're taking work away from my workers and how I feed my family. 100% understandable. But then in some parts of America, as a consumer, when I sit there and you tell me it's a $20,000 job, and then who comes to the job is...
Don't say it.
Is someone that someone assumes is not legal, knowing them, you're not paying them a prevailing wage. You're paying them $150 a day plus lunch.
So you like exploiting people?
Exploiting, yes, that's the word. No, I didn't say I didn't like it. I didn't say I like it. Oh, I heard that wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Please snip that. You snip that. But let me speak from my experience. So when I flip out,
Stanley, I think during COVID, the job they used to pay $100 for someone to do, it became 200, 250.
Yes.
That's because of inflation. Not only the ICE. That's not a recent thing. Like I have a lot of people, a lot of friends that work in construction, and the biggest complaint was that before, for a helper, you used to pay $125 to $150 a day. They don't do that same job for less than $250 nowadays.
Correct.
Right. So that's ever since COVID. That wasn't like an ICE thing.
No, that was inflation. That was our first.
That was the first hit of inflation. But the prices haven't risen ever since.
But it's inflation and tariffs now. You layered it. You hit the nail right on the head. The guys that used to get a house done for like 50, 60,000, now they're like 80. And mind you, I'm like, oh, they'll come back and they won't show up because they'll get a higher bid. Yep. I used to deal with that all day long. But now you got to remember inflation. So everybody's charging more. But now by targeting people assumed to be illegals and specific industries, you lessen the competition. So now I'm not just hitting you with a higher price because of inflation. I'm hitting you with a higher price because who else are you going to go to? Because now the person that you paid $200 a day, he's not here anymore. So he's not even. Right. And I'm telling you, I'm not trying to be facetious.
No, I kind of believe you, but I don't believe you.
Go to Home Depot.
I don't believe you because that's the main reason. Because the Home Depot right next to my house has hundreds of people. They're still there.
Oh, I'm coming.
Yeah, I'm saying coming. They're still there. People are scared of being on the street to get picked up by ICE.
Yeah,
that is a fact. But I don't believe that's the reason, because during the Biden administration, they allowed millions and millions of immigrants to come in. So there was an excess of immigrants. They didn't get rid of everybody that came in. So I don't think it hit the market that fast. I think the inflation was actually what raised the price of everything, not the lack of workers.
See, I'm biased to that statement. I'm a little bit biased. I'm going to tell you why. And people... And I get this at least once a week during a casual conversation saying, do you think the world is worse now than it's ever been? And my number one answer is no, you just have more access to information. Because growing up, you never knew what happened. The town over could have had a manslaughter, big murder. You didn't even know that happened unless you watched news at exactly, I think, 10 o'clock or whatever, that 1 hour of news, and there could have been a big mass murder. Right now, I know what's happening in Taiwan, Indonesia, within seconds, like it's happening next door. So I don't, my opinion, and from what I understand, is that this influx of immigration, illegal immigrants coming over the border, is nothing new. I think it's highlighted. I think right now, especially with technology, we have access to information we never had. So if you go back, let's say 10 years, can anybody tell me how many think about illegals, non-modern, came into the country? And then we assume that everybody comes from Mexico. You know, technically, when you overstay a visa, you're illegal. So people actually played a ticket. We picked them up from their country on American Airlines, brought them here, and put them through the airport. And they overstayed a visa, or they come from Canada. So there's various ways. And I think it's a disservice to people when you're painting everyone under the same brush of illegal. You know what I mean? To go to the border. Listen, we're all immigrants at one point. Who's the person to say Ellis Island was the best? It only makes you illegal. You know what I mean? During, I think, Carter's year, I might be wrong, presidents, if you were able to touch American soil, you could stay. I think that was during Haiti's crisis and Cuba's crisis.
That's Cuba still.
Yeah. So as long as you could touch the soil, you could stay here.
Yeah.
So when you look at that in different phases of our history, you've been allowed to stay. But let me not digress too far. It comes to our poll workers. You see this right now, and once again, not political. A lot of workers are scared to go to work that don't have papers. And depending where you stand, you go, okay, well, you know what? You should have got papers if you really want to be American. You should have.
Not that easy.
It's not that cheap. Listen,
it is not expensive, but it's not that easy.
It's not expensive. The time between immigration lawyers, cost of filing, constantly fees you pay, and then at one point, if you're I-10, if I'm correct, you're paying into a financial system that you get nothing out of.
I've been through all of it. I'm telling you, it's not that expensive. I filed myself, and I was my own lawyer. So
is that the right? Okay, let me ask a question. Is that the norm?
That's definitely not the
norm. Mind you,
norm.
just a disclaimer, Lucas will build you a house from scratch by himself. So he's definitely not the norm. Do not listen to that man. Do not listen to that man. I watched him do it. So I'm saying that from my understanding, that's not the norm. The norm is immigration lawyer. You file whatever paperwork. You're paying into a tax system that you don't take from, because during that time, correct me if I'm wrong, you can't be on social services. Mm-hmm. You can't collect Section 8, food stamp. You can't be part of Medicaid, Medicare. So all the social nets that are given to Americans, they pay into, but during the process, they don't get the benefit of. In any given time, that plug could be pulled and you could be sent back.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
You can't take any social, anything. I think the only thing that you're allowed to get is unemployment if you contributed to it, but everything else you should be giving. You're not taking it away.
Exactly. But and that's what I see when you talk about the employment. Listen, the president, once again, you could fact check it. At one point, he had to change his immigration enforcement based on targeting these farms in the southern regions of Florida, Texas, California, because I don't know if he was briefed on how many people from Mexico and Latin countries work in those fields and how they work. Where at one point they're like, "Oh, we're getting illegals out of here," but then they're like, "Hold on, our food supply is being affected."
Yeah, I know. You know that the biggest scams for green card is in the farms as well, right?
No,
because they get the easiest. The labor when you apply to green card through labor to the farms, that's the easiest way for you to get it. So the biggest scams were farms.
I didn't know that.
That's how my in-laws got the papers as well. And then when they
you better bleep that out.
When they went to the interview and they shut it down, they're like, "Yo, this farm over here." It's like, "All right, I'm gonna say that you were scammed, so I'm not gonna kick you out of the country right now. You were scammed." And then they were like, "You can go home now. I'm just gonna say that you were scammed. I'm not even gonna do an interview with you," because when they catch the farms. That was the most, like, the people were selling the green cards for like $10,000-$15,000 a pop for the people. So they sign up. So I was working at this farm, and then they applied through the farm.
Wow, I never even knew that.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I definitely agree with Stanley that technology has made information available to a lot of people, right? Just being able to point, from Instagram, TikTok, social media platforms, you could just post something and now you know what's happening across the country.
Or
Also-
do you, right?
Right? Or do you?
Or you think you do. Now,
You think you do.
because now we have that
It's
next
more
evolution.
visible.
Because Daryl looks at Facebook for weather, and he tells us
Oh
it's
my
gonna
God.
snow every day,
Yep.
and we always make fun of him.
Tsunamis in the Philippines. Oh
But
my God.
just for everyone that might be joining us, this isn't Daryl. Lucas, it's a very good segment. Lucas came on because today the next segment is we're going to talk about AI. Technology, right? Technology, and Lucas has been playing around with a lot of different new technology, everything from Claude AI to ChatGPT to Grok. A lot of the stuff he's even taught himself and updated. And what Stanley mentioned before when Daryl was talking to him was the website, right? How easy is it now to actually go ahead and update a lot of information or a lot of technology within our own company? Now, Lucas, I guess tell us a little bit about what do you think or what do you feel about AI? Where is it taking jobs right now? Is automation becoming something that now a lot of people are going to lose their jobs from HR to I've seen certain companies also use ChatGPT to produce documents that you would go to an attorney for.
Oh yeah,
Right?
100%.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where do you stand on that, or what do you see? Where do you see it going in the near future?
In the very near future, I think it's gonna be a shit show. I think 40% of the jobs are gonna be lost.
I think
It's
it'll be
gonna
Wild
be
Wild
it's
West.
gonna be the new industrial revolution, right?
Correct.
The way it was back in 19 whatever, when the first and the second industrial revolution came up, that they created those big machines that were going to replace workers, and nobody believed in those machines until the machines were put in place, and then it was taking everybody's job, and then people were trying to break the machines. I think we're going to go through the whole cycle again, but now it's not blue collar, it's a white collar, right? So like everybody that's in the entry level, like developers, I can build anything within minutes. Like I have a developer working on a portal that he's been building. It's been looking great. And then I was like, you know what? Let me do a side project over here. And then I did a side project in a day and a half. And I showed him. I was like, hey, I did this. And he was like, how did you do that? I was like, oh, I used the AI. I'm working with this AI. And he was like, it would take me at least a month to do a work like this. I did it in a day and a half. And he's a senior. He makes $250,000 a year. He's a senior developer. And he was like, there's no way he did it in a day and a half. And he was extremely impressed with the work. And so was I, and so was Jose. Jose's up with it. It's like, it's getting scary out there. And I know that lawyers, doctors, like, would you rather have a surgery with an AI that's 100% accuracy, or with the doctor that you don't know how he feels today, or
Right.
there's human error that anything could happen.
Right, he could have had
Right.
a bad day. He could have went out the night before. He could have had a argument with his or her significant other.
Exactly. And if something happens, for example, in Japan, and they found something, the AI learns as a hive. Like, once one piece of AI learns, the entire network learns. So over here, they're gonna have the same knowledge that they have over there. So for a doctor to learn something across that one doctor noticed across the world, it's gonna take them, if they learn, it's gonna take them years. So I mean, I think AI is gonna take over everything, and we come into what do you call
Terminator.
no, not hopefully not a Terminator. Think like a utopia type of situation. But I think they're gonna come up with like universal income very soon, because the unemployment is gonna rise.
But what about adapting? Because just like you brought up the Industrial Revolution, right? One of the things that
I mean, you're not gonna beat it, so join it,
Jordan, yeah.
learn it, learn how to use it.
I think
better.
I think the key is to learn how to support it. And you brought up the Industrial Revolution, right? One of the founders of that was Henry Ford. If you know the car dealership, because he's the founder of the manufacturing line for the cars.
Assembly line.
Correct. Yeah.
Assembly line. Because it used to be every person hand makes everything. Now assembly line. Everyone thought that was going to lose every job. But what they do, they learn how to implement. There had to be a human element of compliance, of safety, of oversight. I think that's what's going to happen with AI also, where it's going to have that doctor that you're saying the machine's going, and they go, there's a 90%. If I cut this, it'll work. But if I do that, the percentage is 60. We don't know how many of those judgment calls have become miracles. You know what I mean? That's the reality of it.
Really, yeah,
You know what I mean? It's nothing can replace that gut feeling.
yeah.
You know what I mean? That human nature or that soul in you. So I agree in certain aspects. Yeah, AI is going to do everything. It's going to move. But for example, when something malfunctions and AI is working, and anything man-made is made to fail, no matter what it is. I don't care what you have. There's something that could destroy it, make it fall apart. So now let's say you have a multi-billion manufacturer plant and that one AI mechanism messes up. You need that human there to go stop manufacturing because that $1,000 piece is about to destroy $10 million worth of equipment. But you need that human element. What I think will happen, I hope will happen, is that just like they say AI comes, now we're making those huge data centers. Now people will move towards more electronic base, knowing that we need more electricians, electrical engineers. They'll move towards that because remember, .com came. Everyone's like, oh no, what happened? Everybody started learning code. Everybody started learning how to Java or whatever it is.
New jobs are going to be created.
Exactly. Maybe the older people might go, oh my God, and have to retool. But you got to remember, my son right now has a Chromebook at home, takes a picture of his work, goes on ChatGPT, and the kid's not even in middle school.
Yeah.
So to us, we're like, what are we going to do? His life is already mapped out because as the technology is new, he's being interfaced with it at the inception. So he's growing up with the technology.
No, but right now the technology is cute. Pretty soon it's going to be crazy because AGI is going to be launching, and then quantum computer that is 10 million times faster than a regular computer. So whatever math it would take 10 million days to get done, it got done within a day.
But you're talking billionaire. That computer costs so much money. You're talking billionaire.
Right now, yes. But there's $1 trillion company all over.
That is true.
That can just build it, right? So everything could change in an instant. With AGI is able to teach itself and build itself. And
what is AGI? I was about to ask that question. What does AGI stand for?
It's artificial general intelligence.
Okay.
So it's able to build itself and improve itself. So it's not going to need the human anymore to code. It's going to be able to build itself. So there's no limit, brother.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be, I think it's going to be crazy times ahead.
Now, Lucas, let me ask you a question because I don't know that much about technology. Every day you show me something new, I'm just impressed. I'm like a kid in a candy store, to be honest with you. For I guess brokers or anyone that wants to get into the space, what can you give us? I guess the names of a couple of AIs that you would tell everyone to try to learn, and what are the benefits? Because I know even Stanley, you were mentioning that you were playing around with a couple of AIs.
I love
certain
AI.
projects that you were looking at, but I guess Lucas, you actually you do use it on a day-to-day, and it does help the business grow. What are a couple of AIs that you can recommend, and what are the benefits of using them, just so that our viewers can actually go ahead and start doing research on it if they're not already doing so?
I think if you're looking, what are you looking exactly to do?
Well,
like if you want to develop
let's see. You remember how we went to that conference in Georgia, and they said, "Listen, if this is your first step into AI, what would you give me 3 AIs that for beginners, nothing like just illustrations, the baby of it, like." Start your intro with these 3 apps.
I'm starting a business, and I guess the first thing would be, how can what would I use to, I don't know if you can even do a website, right? What would I use to do a website? What would I use, what would be the next step if I am growing a business, or whether it's a SaaS product?
Yeah, entry level, I think, if you're looking to build a website or web presence, a lovable developer is the best. It creates websites, it creates forms, and puts yourself out there, right? If you want copywriting for emails and SMS campaigns, Gemini, I think, is the best.
You think Gemini is better than Claude?
1,000 times better. For copywriting? Yes. Now, Claude is a little more advanced for you to do coding, but Gemini is the best one for copywriting. And I think general knowledge, I like ChatGPT, because it's very basic. It gives you like an overview. It's very artificial answers that it gives you. It doesn't really map anything out, but it gives you a very good layout, like a map, a roadmap for what you do. And then if the step is to do a copywriting, you jump into Gemini and do the copywriting. If the step is doing a website or doing anything graphic, you go to Lovable, right? And then if anything is coding, which is a little more advanced, then you go to Claude. And Claude does some really nice HTML
Yeah, I like that too.
subject, so you can do like a nice newsletters, like a very specific forms. So it has a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah. But don't leave out Grok for illustration. They make some great, and 11 Studio, I think it is, when it comes to
11
visual.
Labs?
11 Labs, I apologize.
11 Labs is sound.
It's 11 Labs is sound, but Grok is visual. I apologize. The images of Grok are pretty cool. I love those too. Gemini, I'm just getting used to. I told you to try it last night. But I agree. AI is just dive in.
Synthesia? Is that what it's called? Is that the other thing?
Oh, that's the voiceover one.
That's the one where
synth something.
That was the first one we
right? That was the
used.
first one that we started playing around with. Yes.
Yeah.
And I guess you can tell it what you wanted to say, and then it would just be an image, and it would spit it out. But AI is
lot of
great.
stuff,
There's a
yeah.
lot of stuff.
Listen, do not be afraid of it. Like I said, I take my free time. I sit there and learn a little bit of it. Like one thing I learned is that a lot of these websites say, "Oh, I didn't even know." Right now, you could integrate your platforms with ChatGPT, with Claude, your CRMs. You could integrate it. So, like I said, they're in infancy. But when you hit integration and you see anywhere from Slack to your Calendly account, all of those could be run by AI. Every day they're adding new integrations. So it's not like you need new platforms. The other day I was looking at it, you could actually integrate your ChatGPT and Claude to your Gmail account.
Yes.
And it runs your calendar. It runs everything. You know what I mean? I haven't done it yet. I want to. I just want to learn a little bit more about it because it helps you handle your schedules, clean everything up. And then at one point we were talking about, as everyone in the business field should be seeing or getting calls from, the telemarketer AIs.
Yeah, Lucas tried that. You showed me a couple of those where it was a girl in a cafe and you heard the background.
Yeah, the conversation is great as long as there's not many interruptions. Because, for example, if the person has background noise, it captures the background noise and stop talking.
It pauses.
Yeah, it wasn't there yet when I built it, but I think the technology got a lot better. Than I even told Jose that we were gonna start trying again to have like a voice agent. If you're doing training, like if you just have like a knowledge base and you want to do like pitch calls and stuff like that, it works great. But to make sales, it's just not there yet. Customer service is definitely there.
Yeah.
But for sales, like cold calling and stuff like that, it's just not there yet.
Yeah.
It wasn't there. I'm gonna test it out again. See if the technology evolved a little bit more and it's not capturing like too sensitive. Because you can make there's levels of sensitivity, right? And if you put very high level of insensitivity, even if the person tried to stop you, it doesn't stop. It just keeps going. So it's like you haven't found tune. But
that's all technology.
Yeah,
What get better?
What I started doing, and I guess Lucas, tell me if this is right or wrong, but the way I see it is when ChatGPT or even Claude, the first thing that I do is because I look at it now, looking at all these videos, is introduce myself. My name is Jose Martinez. I do this. I focus on this, and this. Teach it about myself so that later on, when I do ask for certain prompts, whether it's compose an email about the products that we offer, or write a script for a training, that's been very useful because I think even one of our sales reps, what they did is they actually asked it to give them rebuttals, right? Hey, listen, you know what? Let's do a pitch. Let's do Q&As. Give me objections, and I'm going to give you the answers, or I'm going to rebuttal you. And just even the questions it was asking was crazy. In my eyes, was impressive. That's the right word. Was impressive because it asks about the programs that we have in house. It knew the guidelines. It knew the questions that most clients would rebuttal the sales rep with. So that's also very impressive. But yeah, I teach it a lot teach it about yourself. Right now, is that the right thing to do, Lucas, with technology, AI, ChatGPT, and Claude? To teach it, first thing you should do, open up an account and then teach it who you are and what you do.
Yeah, if you're using it professionally, yes. If you just have a random question, you can just ask a random question.
Yeah, just play with it.
Yeah, but if you're gonna use professionally and you wanna like build a company, and every time it's gonna be like your consultant, the more information you provided, the better answers it's gonna give you. So yeah, it's the right step.
And the number one thing is get the paid account.
Yes.
It has to be paid.
You're never gonna get rich being cheap.
Yeah.
For the AI to keep tabs on you, it has to be the pay account. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
On ChatGPT, there's a feature where you make your own ChatGPT. Once you pay not the $100 one, the $20 one, you can make your own ChatGPT, and during the prompt, you actually tell it what kind of personality you want to have, from the tone, the voice, what kind of field. If you even want it to be a second version of you, explain how you want them to view things and stuff like that. You could actually, even though it'll still search the web, you could actually upload source material that you wanted to be a master of. And one thing Lucas taught me is that, and I didn't know, you could have a master ChatGPT, but then you could have sub ChatGPTs. So it's really finer. Where, like in the mortgage space, I could have Ask Stan the Closer, but then have us all about mortgages, but then have another smaller ChatGPT that only knows DSCR loans. Then another one that only knows fix and flips. Another one that only knows commercial. And what they do is that they feed the main ChatGPT all the information. So now it cleans up versus pulling from everywhere. It pulls it from the smaller ones. You know what I mean?
You never told me this, Lucas.
It's called MCP. It's not that simple. What's
I was just simplifying for you. Okay, we're not having a master class here.
Yeah, that's MCP. You have to build like a CEO, and then you have agents behind the CEO that feeds the information back to that CEO AI agent.
Correct.
So it breaks down the tasks. Yeah, but
So the answers are cleaner. They're not jumbled. Because the more information you put in one ChatGPT, it could be misconstrued. But if I'm like, I want to know about DSCRs, it's not going to talk to the other bots. It's going to talk to the DSCR bot.
And remember that one of the things that we do is we try to simplify everything. Now with the technology, the knowledge that Lucas has, we've been able to honestly compete with the big boys in a sense that we can duplicate certain technology.
Yeah.
So a lot of people say, hey, look at this. I have, what was it? Stanley and I went to a meeting and someone said, hey, we have an AI that you can ask it any question and it'll give you this. The layout was very, I would say elementary, right? But it's funny because we were in this space, so we already knew exactly what it was that it was doing, where some people would be impressed. Wow, you can ask it a DSCR question or hey, what are the qualifications for this? And it would spit it right out. I say that to tell you this. Don't think that a lot of the stuff now that big companies are doing are not available to you. You just need to know where to look. And AI is very important. Start off with ChatGPT. Like I said before, ask it all your questions. Now that Stanley told me that there's something, and Lucas, that there's something called CEO in ChatGPT, that's great for us because think about if you're a business owner and you have financial products and you have a team, what do you want to do? You want to make sure that everyone knows the same information. So if someone has a question, now they don't have to wait till you're available to ask you the question. Your sales rep doesn't have to wait for you. They can just literally go on ChatGPT, and there is a voice version or feature where you can ask it. You hit the mic, hey, ChatGPT, what are the requirements or what are the guidelines for this program? And it'll tell it as if you're there, right? As if it's Stanley telling the sales rep, these are the guidelines, these are the qualifications.
And on that note, that's where a lot of the companies are missing out, that we're not going to be missing out because I'm already doing it for us, is that people, instead of using Google, they're going to start using AI to ask the questions. Right?
You can actually do that in your browser right now.
Yeah, not a lot of people
ChatGPT.
do the SEO for AI. So people are still doing the SEO for Google, but they're not optimizing for AI because you have a special way of putting your website so the AI can crawl and get all the information, right? So your website needs to be optimized so the AI can go and crawl and extract the information. So that's what we're working on behind the scenes right now with Lemate.
That's great. I didn't even know that. But
So it's easier for the AI to read. So it's gonna start referring you instead of those Google searches.
There was one big company I think that I read about yesterday on one of the news articles that came out. I don't know if it was Lending Tree or there was another company where they went from I think it was another company, was they weren't doing paid advertisements on Google anymore. I don't know if it was because they dropped in ranking, but they were switching over now to affiliates because just wasn't cost effective for them any longer to use the Google paid ads because those are very expensive.
Very expensive.
Very.
In the financial industry is crazy expensive.
Yeah. But I know we're coming to time, so Lucas, you want to start us off with the last words of the day?
Stanley do it.
Stanley, all right, Stanley.
Me. Final word of the day. Wow. Listen. This segment was pretty much about the present and the future. When you look at it, we're talking about pains. We're talking about pains that we're going through with the tariffs and the economy and uncertainty. But we're also talking about optimism of AI and different options and what you could do in the future. So as a business owner, as a startup or a seasoned business owner, understand something. There's always a way to solve a problem. There's always a way to turn the corner. Today we talked about tariffs, the cost of goods, the cost of electronics, the cost of living. But we also talked about ways you can get out of it using AI. So if I have a question, do I really need to go to a library and pay for a book? Do I have to pay for a mentor? Or I can just spend $20 on ChatGPT. If I want to learn something or frame out a letter, I can just go on Claude for free. I need to build a website. Lovable, as Lucas said. Most people, I guarantee, majority of people on this Zoom right now have a Gmail. Gemini is the AI version of Gmail. You have it in your upper right corner, you'll see a little star. That's Gemini. Click on it. Learn about it. So it's been sitting there this whole time, and you probably never clicked on it. There's one thing that Jose made me notice where if you're writing an email, there's a wand in the bottom left corner. That's AI. That'll proofread it. So AI is all around you. It's almost like stardust. But you got to wipe your eyes and look for it, and then you can see the magic. So don't worry just about today. Tariffs, everything will pass. But get ready for the future. Don't let the future hit you. Create it. Use AI. Learn it. Learn it with us. Let's grow. That's my final thought.
Nice. Lucas?
I love what Stanley said. Yeah, you can't fight AI. AI is coming, regardless of anybody's opinion. They're trying to regulate, but if they regulate, the other country is not going to regulate, and then they're going to go crazy on it, and then they're going to be way more advanced than us. So the AI wave is coming. There's no way around it. So just join the wave. Get a nice surfboard and then jump on it because there's no way around it. And a lot of the jobs that are here now, in the short future, they're not going to be there. And the AI is going to be replaced by people that know how to use AI first. And then in the future, I think AI is just going to replace everything. And then it's going to be a whole new utopia society that we're going to be living on, and hopefully going to be very good for everybody. But yeah, join the AI wave, start learning, learn with us. Me and Albert, we're going to do a lot of courses on AI, and learn with us, learn on yourself, on your own, but learn it because you're gonna need it.
One of the things that you can tell we just get really excited about is technology, right? AI, how everything is changing. Like Stanley mentioned before, learn how to adapt. Don't be scared of change. Just learn how to adapt, because once you start adapting is when you start seeing the benefits of everything, right? From AI to your emails. I use it a lot. That feature, whenever I type up an email, I always need not just spell check, but make sure that it was formulated correctly.
Polished,
right? Yep. It's polished. If I wanted to elaborate, maybe I wanted to expand on what I'm saying. Always you use technology because it's available. It's around all of us. And if you're not using technology, literally, you're going to be left behind. And it's a benefit to your business, and it's also a benefit to your growth.
Correct.
So, in conclusion, use AI. Brokers Connection, thank you very much from the deal room. And thank you for joining us. Take care, guys. Have a good night. Good night. God bless.
By Brokers Connection.